Okay, I'm live again. I'm back for a really quick one today. Just a quick update, the ongoing drama with the introduction of the Vax Pass for churches. It was unveiled last night. I sent out a couple of emails today and I got a couple of responses. One of my favorite chapels, I guess you could call it, I guess the head priest there, I forget what they call it, the abbot or the vicar or whatever his name is, whatever his title is. Anyway, he responded to my email. I expressed concern about the Vax Pass, and he said he's aware of the situation. He's had a lot of concern expressed by his parishioners, and technically it's not a parish, it's a chapel, but very faithful group, a devout group of Catholics that attends that particular chapel. And so he's heard the concerns and he's working on a solution, but he regretted to inform me that the financial fines imposed by the government are so huge that they really can't risk it. So they're going to have to find a workaround, and he assured me that those up above him in the hierarchy are sensitive to the issue, to the problem, to the concerns, and that they are trying to find a solution. So that's encouraging. I appreciate that, and I don't expect much in terms of the solution. But I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the concern. And we'll see what happens. The other good news is that I have a fixed appointment now with the FSSP priest. Sorry, the other day I called it FPPS or something like that, but it's FSSP, the priestly fraternity of St. Peter. It's church. I think it's the only one of maybe two that do the traditional Latin Mass on the island of Montreal. I've been there once, didn't really enjoy it, but I'm willing to go back, give it another try, and I've had a couple of back and forth emails with them, and the appointment is fixed for Monday. I told them I'm not vaxxed. Am I allowed in the church? I'm not vaxxed. And they said, just come to the office next door, the parish office, and you'll be welcome there, vaxxed or not. So it's encouraging. I'm going to at least get to sit down and speak face to face with what should be, I would imagine, should be centrist politically or slightly right of center politically priest. And I hate to even think about politics, but it's entered into the church. The smoke of Satan has entered into the church, as Saint Pope Paul VI famously said. The smoke of Satan has entered the church. Politics is in the church. The church is corrupt, meaning the members of the church are corrupt. The church is a perfect society with all the means of salvation, and the church is one holy, Catholic and apostolic. It's holy. It's not corrupt, it's holy, but the members are corrupt, myself included, first and foremost. So, because of the corruption and because the smoke of Satan has entered the church, we're reduced to a sad situation where we have to think about this priest is left-leaning, that priest is right-leaning, and this one is centrist, and that one is purely and simply Catholic, meaning he's a good and holy man, good and holy Catholic, right? But for the rest of us, we're characterized as left or right or centrist or whatever, because politics has sullied everything, even the church. In the case of the church, it's a superficial besmirching, and the damage done is done to individual members. It's not done to the mystical bride, which is already reigning in Mary in heaven, right? The purification here below is ongoing, and Mary is our hope in heaven. She's the model of the church, and she's there now, body and soul, representing the church, what the church is and what it shall be. And the purification that takes place here below is a burning off of the dross. So we have to keep this in mind with the when we think about the depressing elements of the worldliness and those in authority that cave to godless secular authority. We have to think about the purification that's taking place. And Christ is one flesh with his church, and Christ is constantly being oppressed and tortured, scourged, crucified, and killed. And then he rises, right? This is constantly happening at different levels and different places and times, and sort of like what do they call those drawings where it repeats like a fractals were all the rage back in the 80s and 90s, those drawings of patterns within patterns, and it repeats at different scales. So we see the suffering, death, and resurrection of the church happening at all times, in all places, like a fractal. You see the pattern repeating different scales of pattern within pattern, repetition of that same motif. So I'm feeling a little bit better today. I should never lose heart. If I do succumb to despair, it's only because I'm a sinner, and if I were a saint, I would not succumb to despair at all. That much is clear. But I don't have much to add to this. I'll keep you posted if there are any other developments. Like I said, this is very quickie today. Just monitoring the situation, and I'm hoping to get updates constantly so I can keep you abreast of the situation here in Quebec, in the Catholic Church. And in my own case with the abuse that I suffered at the hands of a security guard at the oratory, I don't expect much to come of it, but when there are updates, I'll keep you posted. In the meantime, if you would remember me and mine in your prayers, and remember Montreal and Quebec and Canada and North America and the whole world in your prayers, I would appreciate that. We're going through a tough time in the Catholic Church, and we all need to pray for Pope Francis, for the cardinals, bishops, priests, deacons, and the lay faithful, and everyone, and for the non-Catholics, and for those who don't have the privilege of being called Christians. We need to pray for everyone, because we're all in the same boat and we all need the same thing. So that's it. Thanks for listening, and take care of yourselves. We'll talk soon. I'm going to do my fundamentals a lot next. Stay tuned. Take care. God bless.